Are you leading in a way that it is in alignment for you? Not for someone else, not for what your mentor taught you, but for you yourself, where it feels truly like yourself as a leader. You're not using someone else's playbook, but you're using your own unique voice, your own unique way that you lead. I'm asking that because a lot of leaders get this wrong. And this is where we get to shift as a leadership. Like all these leaders get to shift to a new way of leading, because the old way of leading is no longer going to work. As we continue to grow and evolve as the world, we see it with AI, we see it with the next generation coming into the workforce. We can also see that our leadership skills and the way that we lead is going to have to evolve and grow and expand. Because in today's society, all of your employees want to be seen as humans. They want to be heard, seen, respected. There's even stats to back this up where they really want to have meaningful work. They want to know that they make a difference. They want to know that they can show up and have a great leader that is going to be true, authentic, and honest, and all the amazing things that good leaders have. So I want to break this down, but before I do so, please hit the subscribe button. 80% of you watch my videos and do not subscribe, and this is how I grow. So if you would, hit the subscribe button and help me grow my channel, and also drop any comments below because that also boosts my visibility. So welcome, I'm Emily and I'm here with Leading with Human Design. For those that have been following me on my journey, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of your support so much. And I want to dive right into where leaders really get this wrong. A lot of this stems to the start of a lack of self-awareness. There's a lack of self-awareness around your biases and your condition, and every single one of us have it. It doesn't matter what your degree is, it doesn't matter how much inner work you've done, you always have that, and you cannot be aware of what you are not aware of. So I'm gonna repeat that again. You can't be aware of what you are not aware of. So I'm a huge believer that increased awareness will always help us become better leaders. And we can do this through many different tools and in many different ways. And one of the ways that I want to talk about today is the way through human design. I get asked all the time with me building out my tech platform based on human design is why human design? Because at the end of the day, human design is not a personality test. It is literally a blueprint of how you operate and how you function and how your energy is, and also how you make decisions. And based on your decisions, and then you have your profile lines and you have all these defined and undefined centers where we could really deep dive, but I'm just keeping it high level. But it really teaches you how you make decisions, how you move, how other people perceive you, and how you best lead without the rest of the world, without the deconditioning around it. So I want to just jump into some quick ways that you can implement this as a leader. So first, understand your biases and your conditioning. Every single person has it. Some of it is good, some of it's great, some of it has served us, but a lot of it is not, and we get to shift and change that. And the old way of leading, of doing things the way that we've always done them just because, will not work anymore. We get to shift that now. We get to shift that whole mentality. So then we go back to like, okay, if that is no longer working for me as a leader, then how can I as a leader show up and really get honest with who I am, what do I stand for, where am I going, and then how do I operate? And this is where human design comes in and builds that foundational work. It gives you the blueprint for you to understand how your energy is, for you to understand why you're burning out, for you to understand why are people not listening to you, for you to understand like this is how I make decisions, but when I make decisions my team's not on board, and why does that happen? Or why is my team full of chaos? So there's a lot of things that human design can build that foundation for, but you as the leader have to take the first step and understand your human design first. And I will put in the comments our tech platform that we're building now. You can get a free 3-day trial, go sign up and start the learning process. And if you want to dive deeper, we do these one-on-one sessions with leaders. We also do them with teams. So if that's something you want to dive deeper in, just comment below and I can also send you that information. So when we think about human design and why this is so impactful for our leaders is because it brings us back to our truth. It brings us back to how we operate and how we function without the conditioning, without the projections, without the mentors telling us you have to do X, Y, Z. And it starts to give us more power. It starts to give us more like insights of why things have always been the way they've been, and we start to become a stronger leader first. And I'm a firm believer, if you've watched a lot of my videos, you know I'm a firm believer of leader of self first. In order for you to become the best leader possible, you have to know how to lead yourself first. And that is a daily practice. That is not something you just pick up once and then decide, oh, I may do it, 3 or 4 times. No, it is a daily practice on how you're going to lead yourself, and in all areas of your life, because if you're not leading yourself, someone else is leading you. So I'm going to repeat that. If you're not leading yourself in all areas of your life, someone else is leading you. And it may be a great leader and it may be a bad leader. You get to decide that, because I don't know that. Only you know that. So when we go through the human design process, it helps us decondition. It helps us understand these conditions have been placed on us, and that's no longer going to work. That's no longer going to serve as the world evolves and we bring next generations into the workplace. And we get to understand how to be better leaders and start to see humans instead of employees, and start to take ourselves off the pedestal as a leader. And we're all on the same playing field. We just have different sets of skills. And at the end of the day, this is also going to help you understand your team more. So as you learn more about yourself, your human design, and how you function, you're also going to want to know those things about your team. And this will explain your team's rhythm. It'll explain why your team have certain patterns that they have. It'll explain why they function the way they function. Maybe they're functioning great, but maybe they're not, right? And I'm a firm believer too that even though the team performance can be good, I've also seen it where they've implemented human design in their team and the amount of results have been mind-blowing. Even the CEO said, if I could say one word, it would be invaluable. Because of the fact that they come into alignment, they have a better understanding of how each person functions, and they now know how to align. They now know how this one makes decisions and what is supportive for them, and then they can set standards and boundaries around that to become a better working place, to have a better working environment, to be able to show up in a place where you want to show up and work. And this is going to go back to, I think with the new generations coming in place, everyone wants to be seen as a human. It helps your turnover. There's so many stats that back this up to where we want to be seen as humans and not just another employee. So if you're a leader watching this, your next steps for you is really to increase your awareness, learn what your human design is and how it can help you decondition and do the inner work. Do the work that is required. It's not always this nice, pretty work, and there's a lot of truths and a lot of realities, but do the work. I promise it will be worth it. And if you have questions, or if you want me, I'm gonna be doing some deeper dives around each design type and what that looks like as a leader. So subscribe and let me know in the comments what else you want me to break down on human design and leadership, or if you have any leadership questions in general, feel free to also put those in the comments too.